My parents refused to accept my deaf wife, so I set one rule before they ever met our children. When I first introduced my parents to Lisa, I honestly thought they'd adore her. She's smart, warm, and funny in a quiet, confident way. She works as a graphic designer, has an eye for detail most people miss, and somehow makes chocolate chip cookies that disappear within minutes. But the moment my parents realized Lisa was deaf, the energy in the room shifted. My mom didn't ask about her work, didn't ask how we met. She leaned toward me and asked, "So, how do you even communicate with her?" I explained that Lisa reads lips exceptionally well, and I was learning sign language. My dad shook his head and muttered, "This is going to complicate your life." During dinner, they spoke about Lisa instead of to her. At one point my mom whispered to my dad, "What if they have kids? Will they be normal?" Lisa saw every word. She excused herself to the bathroom, and when I followed her, she was crying quietly in the hallway. She told me she was used to ignorance, but she never expected it from the people who raised me. That night changed everything. How the pressure started. Over the next few months, my parents didn't confront me directly. They planted doubts instead. My dad said things like, "Marriage is hard enough without adding extra challenges." My mom kept comparing Lisa to my cousin's girlfriend, always emphasizing how nice it was that she could hear. When I proposed to Lisa anyway, my parents refused to help with the wedding. My mom said, "I don't see the point in investing in something that probably won't last." 2 weeks before the wedding, they called to say they weren't coming. No fight, no shouting. Just a calm statement that they couldn't support my decision. They missed their only son's wedding because they couldn't accept my wife's deafness. What they didn't expect. Our wedding was still beautiful. Lisa's family welcomed me like I'd always belonged. Her father walked me down the aisle and said, "I'm not losing a daughter. I'm gaining a son." That moment stayed with me. We went no contact with my parents after that. Not out of anger, but because Lisa deserved peace. 2 years later, Lisa and I now have twin boys, Austin and Ryan. They're loud, curious, and endlessly curious about the world. They can hear perfectly fine, but honestly, it wouldn't have mattered either way. My parents found out about the twins through a relative. That's when the calls started. Voicemails, texts, tears. My mom cried about missing precious moments. My dad said they'd made mistakes and wanted to move forward. Then one afternoon, they showed up at our house unannounced with bags full of baby toys. My mom sobbed on the porch and said, "Please let us meet our grandsons." The line I wouldn't let them cross. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't slam the door. I said calmly, "You didn't miss a birthday. You didn't miss a holiday. You missed my wedding because you thought my wife wasn't good enough." I told them they couldn't step back into our lives pretending none of that happened. Then I gave them one condition. They could meet their grandsons, but only after they completed sign language classes. Not for Lisa's sake, for theirs. Because if they wanted access to our children, they needed to fully accept who their mother is, not tolerate her. My dad scoffed and said they were too old to learn a new language. I replied, "Then you're too old to be in my children's lives." That's when my mom went quiet. She elbowed my dad and said they'd start classes the following week. 6 months later, my parents can hold basic conversations with Lisa in sign language. They mess up sometimes. They correct themselves. They try. My mom now brings Lisa coffee every Tuesday, not as an apology, but as a habit. They're still rebuilding trust. But this time, the rules are clear. Lisa isn't something to tolerate. She isn't something to work around. She's my wife, and the mother of our children. And anyone who wants a place in our family has to understand that first.